Stratford in East London, about 20 minutes away on the Docklands Light Railway to London City Airport, where I'm going to be flying from today. I am heading to Birmingham, which I know doesn't sound that exciting, but in true in-flight video fashion, we're not doing this the easy way. I'm heading to Belgium, the Netherlands, back to Belgium again for some reason. I'll explain that a little bit more later, and then finally back to Birmingham this afternoon.
My first stop today is Antwerp in Belgium with VLM Airlines, and the reason for taking this route today is a little bit out of the way, I understand that, but it's one of only 2 scheduled routes in Europe now that you can fly the Fokker 50 aircraft on, and it's an aircraft that's eluded me for many years. I've been booked on one several times and it's always ended up being cancelled. Hopefully today it won't be the case. To fly on this really rare aircraft, there's only a few of them left, so it's going to be a fantastic little flight, I hope, from here at London City Airport over to Antwerp in Belgium.
Now, unfortunately, about a week after I filmed this video, VLM Airlines went out of business and stopped all flights. Today was a great opportunity to get on my last ever Fokker 50 flight with VLM. I knew they wouldn't have long left, but I really didn't think it would be that quick that they'd all be out of service. Now, the seats on this aircraft are actually pretty comfortable. The cabin's really dated, it looks very 1980s inside, but actually the leather seats are all pretty comfy and there's quite a decent amount of legroom too.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we get underway, may I ask that you pay special attention while the cabin crew demonstrate the important safety features on board this Fokker 50 aircraft. We would also ask for your cooperation in putting down any electronic devices and removing personal headphones. We would like to remind you that this is a non-smoking flight. Your seatbelt can be fastened, tightened, loosened and opened as demonstrated. Please fasten your seatbelt whenever the seatbelt sign is switched on the light panel above you. This aircraft is equipped with 4 emergency exits, clearly marked with illuminated exit signs. There are 2 doors at the front, left and right, and 2 doors at the back, left and right. In case of smoke in the cabin, strip floor lighting will guide you to the nearest exit. Your life jacket is stowed in a pouch underneath your seat. To use it, slip your head through the neck opening with the air tubes to the front and flap to the back. Fasten both the straps to the metal ring in front and pull to tighten. Inflate the life jacket by pulling the 2 red tags firmly down. Further inflation or deflation is possible by means of the 2 red tubes. Never inflate your life jacket inside the cabin, as it may hinder your exit from the aircraft. Now, please read the safety information card located in the seat pocket in front of you.
minutes chatting about the Fokker 50, the history of VLM and all sorts of other aviation things before we had to go and serve all the other passengers. I must say it's always great to speak to air crew who are really enthusiastic about the aircraft that they fly.
Welcome to Antwerp. The local time is 25 to 10.
Thanks very much. See you. Bye. So that was a great little flight over from London to Antwerp with VLM on board the Fokker 50. Great little airline to fly with. There's not many of these Fokker 50s left now, so if you want to get on one, you really, now is your last chance. I was chatting to the cabin crew and he said that basically within a year they would all be gone from the fleet, so it's a good opportunity to get on one now. I'm here now at Antwerp Central Station waiting for my train. Now Brussels itself is only about 20 minutes in that direction from Antwerp. However, firstly I need to go to Amsterdam, which is about an hour in that direction. The reason being that if I was to get this afternoon's flight from Brussels directly to Birmingham, directly from Brussels, it would have cost me over £400. However, by tagging on a train journey from Amsterdam first, it only cost me £100 to get exactly the same flight. The downside is I now need to go about an hour out of my way up to Amsterdam in the Netherlands, get on another train and come all the way back through Antwerp down to Brussels this afternoon. So it's a little bit of a crazy day, but it gives me a chance to get a little bit of work done on the next trains with Thalys, I believe the name is, up to Amsterdam Schiphol. So here now at Amsterdam Schiphol Airport, heading now for my train back to Brussels. Very brief trip here. I should actually have had about an hour, but they've just said I can get on an earlier train because there's one leaving in 5 minutes, so I'm going to head back down to Brussels. So I'm here now at Brussels International Airport here in Belgium. Brussels, of course, being the capital of the EU and, of course, the home to Brussels Airlines, who I'll be flying with on my next flight today. I've got a few hours here in Brussels. The weather looking quite nice. It's a bit better here than it was up in Amsterdam. So my next flight from here today is on board a really rare aircraft type. There's only a few of them around. It's a Russian aircraft type, believe it or not, operated by Brussels Airlines, and it's the Sukhoi Superjet SSJ. Brussels Airlines are actually leasing some in from Superjet, who are one of the only European operators of this aircraft type. There's only a few people around the world that actually operate them. So it's going to be quite interesting to get on board a Russian airliner flying on board a Western Airlines flight. back to Birmingham, of course, in the UK. So that's going to be next up this afternoon. I'm really looking forward to that one. I've got a few hours here. So they have a Leffe bus behind me, I've noticed, so you can get a Belgian lager before you get on your flight. Always a nice little touch, of course. And so I might give that a little go now, and then head into the terminal where I have a few hours to wait until my next flight back on the Sukhoi Superjet. Really looking forward to it. You simply can't come to Brussels and not have meatballs and Belgian beer. Look at this. This is an in-flight video tradition, by the way. Every time I fly through Brussels Airlines, I have to stop at this little restaurant here and have some meatballs. Belgian meatballs, Leffe lager. Great views of the aircraft out there on the ramp. What more could you want? Cheers.
As we are about to demonstrate the safety features on board this Superjet 100 aircraft, we would ask for your cooperation in placing down any electronic devices and removing personal headphones so that we can have your full attention for a few moments. Laptops must be switched off now and stowed securely until after the seatbelt sign is switched off after takeoff.
Now, I'm not usually a fan of Brussels Airlines for flying in Europe. The service is usually pretty basic in economy. You don't get any complimentary snacks or anything, everything's buy on board, and this flight was no exception. They came around once selling drinks and things, and that was it, and we never saw the cabin crew for the rest of the flight. Now, the Sukhoi Superjet itself isn't a bad little aircraft. It's not like any other Russian jet like I was expecting. It's actually pretty bland. It's a reasonable ride, pretty smooth, but it does feel a bit cheap and nasty when you're on board.
So back here at Birmingham Airport in the UK after what was a pretty interesting trip from London to here via Belgium, the Netherlands and Belgium again. Two pretty cool planes flown on today. The Fokker 50 this morning was amazing. The Sukhoi Superjet, a little underwhelming, let's just say. For an aircraft that was just over a year old, it was kind of falling to bits really, really rattly. The seat back didn't work properly, so as soon as we took off I was laying flat pretty much. The overhead air vents didn't work, and when they opened the cargo door at the side, and we have never had it where they open that and you see the side of the plane flex as they do it. Very interesting. I won't be rushing to fly on one again. It wasn't too bad. It's a different way to get over here from Brussels at least, but I won't certainly be rushing back to get one, especially when there's other classic jets out there like the TU154 still available to fly in certain parts of Europe at the moment, and of course the Antonovs over in the Ukraine as well. When you've got aircraft like that, to be honest, the Sukhoi Superjet just feels a little bit cheap and nasty. But never mind, I'm back here anyway at Birmingham, about to get my train back home. Thanks so much for watching this video, really do appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on In-Flight Video.